Hey there, I'm Kevin Downey, and I run a boutique agency called Kevin M. Downey, where we help B2B companies with their sales and marketing efforts. You can visit our website at kevinmdowney.com. Okay, continuing my series, 16 Rules for B2B Sales, Marketing, and Business Development. Rule number 8, email copy is as simple as a cold call. So I talked about this, I think, in number 6 or 7, right? One of the things when it comes to messaging and cold email that I see companies do is they forget what they were doing when they make a cold call or they do a boots on the ground and an in-person visit, right? They get that part right, but then when they go to do email, for some reason, they start writing advertisements and marketing messages, and that is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to elicit a response. We're trying to generate a lead, right? So think email copy, your subject lines, and we'll talk about this, but your email copy is what you would do on a cold call. So if I was on a cold call, right, I'm going to do something to the extent of, hey, Johnny, curious if you have this pain point. If you do, we can help you solve it. This is what I want you to do next. I want to send you this PDF with my stuff. I'm going to get them to say, sure, Kevin, send that over. I'm going to say, great, John, I'm sending that over. Hey, while I have you, let me ask you a quick question, right? I've dropped their guard, right? I've dropped their guard, and now I can grab them and gather intel, right? And sometimes you're going to get more than others, than on other calls. But during that time frame, I can move them down the process and I can take them further down the line on that cold call. Problem is we can't get a hold of anybody anymore, right? Relatively speaking. So email becomes really, really critical. Now, we're not going to be able to gather the intel part like we would on a cold call or an in-person visit. But what we can do is identify decision maker, right, and qualify as to whether or not they have a pain point, right, or an interest or a need in our products or services enough to reply back and say, sure, send me that information, right? So now we are getting those two things done. And so your copy needs to elicit a response. Now, I will change that idea a little bit for my clients or our clients that are in product manufacturing or distribution, and they have a line card or a catalog online, and they do, corporate gifts sometimes, and they want people to visit that on their website as well. It does have value there. But generally speaking, in what we deal with in B2B, which is not as many manufacturers and distributors, although we do deal with quite a few of them, but professional services, right? Consulting, advertising and marketing, cybersecurity, IT, so on and so forth, all those things, right? We are trying to elicit a response. Do you have this pain point? If you do, we can help you solve it. Here's what I want you to do next. I want you to reply back. Let me know you're interested enough to take a look at my stuff. Now that you've done that, right, from a process standpoint, and I'll talk about this later in another video, I want to jump on them. I want to call right away, and I want to gather that intel. I want to start a conversation and gather intel, right? So remember, cold email copy is as simple as a cold call. It's nothing more complex than that. You're trying to do the same things, okay? All right.